What's up, everybody? It's Igo. I have Kevin here with me today. We're talking about Pokemon Scarlet and Pokemon Violet. We are using a new setup of microphones today, so things might get a little weird. This room's lighting is also really ugly, but I thought it'd be a good room for two people to film in rather than filming in my apartment like I usually do. So today we're going to be talking about Pokemon Scarlet and Pokemon Violet. This is the newest game in the series that is going to be coming out later this year in November, which is insane that they just released this game and it's going to be coming out this soon. This is not something that anyone, I think, expected from the Pokemon Company, especially considering we just had Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl, and then we had Pokemon Legends Arceus come out, and now we are looking at the newest Pokemon game coming out here pretty soon. There are so many people outside the studio just looking in right now, so excuse me looking away from the camera. So what are your first thoughts on this game from the Direct?
So, this game alone, it is very beautiful. It does look like similar to Arceus, where like at the beginning, the trailer doesn't really represent the game very well. But as we know, Arceus came out very beautifully, so I cannot wait for the end of the year.
Right, and something that they kind of showed us in this game is, when you look at it, is the first shot they showed was this kind of open world look, and it looked very similar to the first shot they showed us in the trailer for Pokemon Sword and Shield. And so I thought it was maybe a continuation of Sword and Shield, but I soon realized that this is a new Pokemon game. And another thing, that if you look at some of the Pokemon in this game from the trailer, is that their skin and their fur is actually textured, unlike in Pokemon Legends Arceus and Pokemon Sword and Shield. And the trees have been done up because a lot of people have complained in the previous games about the trees. Which I understand, the game should be pretty, but I don't think the trees were the Pokemon Company's top priority here. But where I think this game really kind of stands out is in the sense that I think it's where the Pokemon Company really wanted the Pokemon games to be from the beginning, from the get-go. These games more and more are starting to look what the anime looks like, right? Where we can just walk around in the world, catch Pokemon. We can go between the cities now without having any cutscenes in between or anything like that. I just can't believe they did it this early, right? Because they announced this and they have footage of the game, so they had to have been working on this while they were doing Legends Arceus and developing Brilliant Diamond, Shining Pearl. So the Pokemon companies had to have been definitely busy.
Well, to me, right, after watching the anime, if any of y'all have watched it on Netflix or watched the Japanese one, you can definitely see where Pokemon Company is going right now. Since the anime, they bring in all the elements from every single generation. So if you look at if anyone's on the actual Pokemon website and looking at the game, the first screenshot on top left looks similar to Sword and Shield. How I forgot what that region's called, but it looks very beautiful. It has all these beautiful gates. The screenshot bottom of that reminds you it has that tropical feel, and especially that last photo near the end, it looks like it has that.
Yeah, we're definitely on some kind of island here.
So Pokemon Company's definitely pulling homage to most of their games. You have Sword and Shield, you have Sun and Moon, we
definitely have different biomes going on, yeah, with the desert area in the shot. And I'll put this all on screen so y'all can kind of see what we're talking about here. And we have the main characters from each game, which each game, going off of the name of Scarlet and Violet, seems to have a different color scheme. And I think that's going to be one of the main selling points. We may in this game for the first time ever see a singular legendary that's just a different color. That's probably unlikely, but it is something that could potentially happen. Oh my goodness, dude, this room is so much reverb. I'm going to turn this down. I think that fixed it.
Are we editing that out?
Yeah, so the characters definitely have different color schemes. There's one boy character, one girl character, nothing out of the usual there. And they haven't announced what legendaries we're going to see in this game, and so we may be seeing a single legendary of different color schemes, which I would think would be likely. But one of the selling points of these Pokemon games usually is that you pick one of the two legendaries, so they're probably going to be different.
I honestly think the color scheme for the trainers don't really matter that much, since the game-wise, if you look at the screenshots, they look pretty much the same. I think color scheme-wise, it's only just for the trainers.
Yeah,
it's like a Sun and Moon thing where so if y'all don't know, in Sun and Moon or X and Y, each of the trainers, they have their own outfits, so you can buy certain outfits from certain stores. So you can only buy certain outfits from the Sun market or from the Moon market. So the Moon market had cooler colors compared to like Sun's warmer colors. So hopefully there would be character customization in this game, but from what we're seeing, they're probably just color theming the characters like clothing.
Yeah, or the starters, I imagine. And speaking of the starters, when we look at these three little starters, different looking Pokemon, and just from the starters alone, I have a feeling that in this new region, because this is officially the announcement of Gen 9, we are going to be seeing a ton of new Pokemon. And just looking at the starters, I have a feeling they're going to be taking these Pokemon a bit of a different direction. We have Fuecoco, who's like the fire crocodile Pokemon, as they call him, who I'm definitely going to be picking up as my starter. I like the crocodile boys. Any Totodile fans out there, hit me up in the comments. And then we have Quaxley, who to me looks like Howard the Duck, and I don't get this Pokemon at all. We already had Psyduck and Golduck. We didn't need another duck.
What's wrong with more ducks?
I don't
Bro,
know,
look at
dude.
Quaxley,
He's just
bro.
weird looking to me.
When I saw
like they
Quaxley-
gave him like a toupee. Like this man's got to be bald under there.
Nah. If you look at my man, he has like a little like, cowlick at the front. He looks epic.
Yeah, he's
Like,
got the
bro,
40-year-old
to
man
to me,
toupee.
he's Donald Duck. I want Donald the Duck. Come on.
And then we have a Pokemon that's gotten really interesting because a lot of people...
Litten 2.0.
Yeah, it kind of looks like Litten, but it's a grass type. But a lot of people are wanting this character, or this starter in specific, to stay on all four legs, because Litten, turned into the big old buff boy.
Oh yeah, no.
And he's
I
on
do
2
not
legs.
like
A lot of people
Incineroar
want
as much.
the 4-legged variant of whatever this Pokemon's going to end up evolving into. And another thing, too, is we don't know what the evolutions of these Pokemon are going to be. I imagine it's going to be really cool. But who knows? I really like Fuecoco right now, but they may give him like a really whack evolution. I mean, right now his head kind of looks like an apple. I don't know, maybe he's a giant apple dinosaur.
Well, all we can do now is basically theorize based off the descriptions, because we were able to like theorize what the evolutions would evolve from their starters and descriptions. So like Fuecoco seems very interesting because it seems more laid back. So like when it evolves, it'll probably become like either it's going to be more energetic or it's going to be more laid back, like slacking.
Yeah, none of these starters look like they're going to turn into particularly aggressive-looking evolutions. Like in Sword and Shield, for example, all of the starters, when they evolved, they did have like a bit of like coolness to them, Where these Pokemon, I think they're going to go for a more like cutesy look. That seems to be kind of the vibe going on here. And so it'll be interesting to see what the evolutions are. Right now, we don't have a lot of information on this game, like so many other games that Nintendo is talking about right now. Like 2022 is, or 2020, yes, this is 2022, not 2023. I almost said that. 2022 is looking to be the biggest year ever for the Nintendo Switch. We just started the year off really strong with Pokemon Legends Arceus. We have Triangle Strategy. We have Splatoon 3, the new Kirby game, Xenoblade 3, Breath of the Wild 2. Like, this year is going to hurt gamers' wallets like no other year I can possibly imagine. And so this is so exciting to get so many new games coming out this year. It's definitely going to hurt our wallets again, but I'm excited. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. This new Pokemon game, I think, is finally going to be the new pinnacle of Pokemon games. A lot of people were saying how Legends Arceus was their favorite game, and I wanted to make a video on it, and I didn't because the game's just so good, and it's really quite self-explanatory. But I think Legends Arceus was a stepping stone, which makes me a little, mad to say that, right? Because Legends Arceus is such a great game, and so to call it a stepping stone is almost offensive, but I think it is what they were trying to use to move and progress into this new style of Pokemon games, because I don't think we're going to see Pokemon games as they were probably ever again unless there's a remake.
You could definitely see that they tried out their hardest with our Legends of Arceus in terms of DLC, because they gave us free DLC literally the other day.
Right,
So,
and with that,
they normally don't do that.
there's a chance of more DLC coming and what they could potentially add, right? They could add raids, they could add different kinds of boss battles for the legendaries, because, no, that's spoilery, I won't get into that. Yeah, it's interesting to see what kind of DLC that they've added for free, or like the DLC with Mario Kart. That's a whole new deal. The Pokemon Company seems to be going into a route of, instead of making another subpar game, let's take our already really amazing game and just kind of add things onto it to make people happy, while we're also working on these other games that are keeping people excited.
Because the problem that Pokemon Company had was Sword and Shield. It definitely was lacking a bit, but they added DLC, which did finish off the game. However, it costed like $30.
Right.
So I don't think it's worth $30 just to pay for actual content that should have been in the game. Like if they pulled it like Arceus, where they gave it for free, like that would have been epic.
Yeah.
But definitely for Sword and Shield, I hope with this game they're gonna do everything better, because with Sword and Shield, definitely people were able to speculate the stars based off of like their design wise, and people were able to create a theme based off the region. So I'm hoping like if we get to know the region a bit more, people will start speculating a bit more. But for right now, the stars look epic. Fuecoco just has like that cool theme. Quaxly seems like the quiet type, and how do you pronounce the grass type?
Sprigatito? He's got a weird name. But I will say what I think that grass type Pokemon's going to be is a glass cannon.
Yeah.
I think he's definitely going to be a glass cannon.
Like Quaxly fits the theme of like the cool water type.
Quaxly's definitely, I think, going to be the most well-rounded. Fuecoco to me seems like he's going to be definitely a special defense kind of Pokemon. Like, he's going to be tanky, but I don't think he's going to be pushing out anything too hard.
Like, I definitely see Fuecoco in the future just like being like aggressive, being like Bonesaw is ready, and just like throwing people to the wall.
Built like Godzilla. Just ready to tear people in half.
And then Spaghetti-O, I just feel like it's gonna evolve and look like.
Did you just say Spaghetti-O?
Doesn't matter. At this point, I feel like it's gonna evolve into like the 5th gen like what's that Pokemon called? Liepard, and just become like that like epic like fox looking thing, and
I
just
could see
like
it.
destroys people, but like it gets one tap, and then like Quaxly. I feel like it has to do something with that hat, bro. Like that hat right here, like it's gonna grow an afro, bro.
I think this world's also going to be really huge, considering there's no cutscenes like there have been in the past between walking in and out of cities. And they did this a little bit with Arceus if you were going like in and out of camps, but you still had a fast travel between like the different 4 areas and the main city. I wish they had just connected them all together and just allowed you to fast travel if you wanted to, but if you wanted to walk from one region to another, but I was okay with it because the 4 different regions you were in were absolutely massive. Now, the reason they may have done that may have been limitations of the Switch. My Switch has had well over 1,000 hours of gaming on it, and when I turned on Legends Arceus the other day, my fans on my Nintendo Switch were actually louder than the fans on my desktop computer, which are 144 millimeter fans that are going like full blast 24/7 because I'm streaming and gaming and recording YouTube on it. And so it's absolutely ridiculous that that thing was making that much noise. It's kind of concerning. So my Switch is getting the end of its lifespan here, which kind of goes into a discussion too. Do you think they'll release a new Switch with this new game?
I hope they do, because if I would like to bring up like 2 screenshots. So there's 2 screenshots in particular, which you can see live right now. But these 2 pictures right here, the day and the night. My issue right now is like it looks like they can barely render this properly because it doesn't look very good at night. But what I'm scared of is, since like there's no transitions, if it shifts from day to night, like I hope they don't do that normal thing where like Pokemon Company with games where like it just suddenly becomes like boom. It's criminally sunset out of nowhere.
Yeah, and
I
that's
hope they don't do that, because the
a
game
tricky
looks
thing
really
to do,
good.
especially with like contrast, right? Because when we talk about like, even if we were to go outside right now, because it's about 4 in the afternoon, if we waited about an hour, as the sun starts to set, you get those yellow midtones on everything. And so for them to do all of those color changes would be somewhat difficult. It's definitely possible, but they're going to have to go in and put in the work on that. And I mean, yeah, right now we're zooming this up, and these are probably 480 pictures that are put on the website here, because why are they uploading huge res stuff? This doesn't make any sense. And I mean, you pixel peek the
Well,
Switch,
like,
it's going to look a little rough.
But if you look closely, like,
It
even though it
looks
doesn't look
better than the other games in the past, though. I will say that.
But you do see the detail. Like if you look at the moon, like the moon is really detailed.
Yeah, they've definitely put a lot of work into like the textures and the shadows and trying to make things look more detailed. Or like when we
Look
talked
at this
on
background,
the
like,
textures
in the
of the
day.
Pokemon.
Like you can definitely see like the castle very well. Like normally in like Sword and Shield, the castle would look a bit pixelated, right? But look at this castle; it looks very detailed. Like they definitely put a lot of effort in this game.
Right.
So far, even for the first trailer.
Or if we look at this,
Or like,
there's this shot of Seviper, right? And you can actually see the scales, which you could not see in Pokemon Sword and Shield. And I hope this makes it into the final version of the game, right? Is these actual like textured Pokemon, or there's a shot of like Magnemite somewhere.
my main thing is I don't think the OG Switch can run this. It's gonna chug really hard.
Yeah, there is a chance of like having
Like
frame
look at
drops.
the sunshine, like little like Mario Sunshine looking area. Like it looks amazing, but there's a lot of colors and the amount of stuff going in the background. Like there's Pokemon flying around, like the two Swablu. I hope they actually add in like Pokemon flying around and stuff. Like make it seem more like Legends, because Legends definitely did push like.
There's definitely going to be overworld
Pokemon.
Pokemon just running around, especially on the routes, because we kind of saw that in the trailer. And I think a concern that would be there, because we don't have those transitional points anymore between cities and areas, is everything has to be loaded up to your current view distance, which is really going to push the Switch really, really hard. And so I don't know if they're going to descale stuff in the distance and have stuff that's probably rendered really close to you, or how they're going to figure that out. But it's definitely going to be a tough thing for the Pokemon Company to do. And this game, the way it's looking, is it's either going to be absolutely amazing, revolutionary, and the best Pokemon game that's ever been made, or it's going to flop. Which is why I'm kind of concerned about that 2022 release date. It seems...
Too close.
Yeah, it seems early.
The main thing is I don't know if they have like a Switch Pro in the background, because remember what they did for like the new Switch game for the new 3DS games? They had to release like new games only for the new 3DS. So like I hope they don't make this game locked for the new Switch.
Right. And I doubt they would do something like that, but I definitely think the old Switch is going to chug on this game. But as of right now, that's really all we have information-wise. We can speculate all day long, but we're not going to get much more out of it. And so we're going to end this video, guys, here. Thank you so much for watching, as always. We will catch you guys in the next one. Peace.
Bye.